This is your host, Cora Dive, bringing you another mythology reading. Today, I bring you Merlin the Boy Magician, one of the British mythology. After seizing control of Britain through deceit and bloodshed, the cruel king Vortigern summoned his court magicians to ask them what he should do next. They all gave him the same advice. He should build an immensely strong tower fortress upon Mount Erith. So Vortigern summoned many stone masons and they began to lay the foundations of a mighty tower. But however much they built, the earth swallowed it up each night in such a way that they had no idea where their work vanished to. Vortigern angrily consulted his magicians a second time to give them a chance of explaining the reason for this. The magicians were completely baffled, and when Vortigern threatened to slay them, they told him this: "You should look for a boy that has no father, and when the boy is found, his lifeblood should be sprinkled into the mortar. Then, and only then, the foundations of the tower will stand firm." The magicians gave this answer because they thought it was impossible to find a boy with no father. Little did they know, one really did exist. Vortigern's knights were immediately sent out through Britain to search for a fatherless boy, although they had no idea how to locate such a strange person. After days of searching, the knights wandered into a muddy village and sat down by the town gate. Two boys, whose names were Merlin and Dina Butius, were playing in the street. Dina Butius was taunting Merlin. "Merlin, you fathead, I am of royal blood on both sides of my family. As for you, nobody even knows what blood you came from. You never even had a father." Hearing this, the knights caught Merlin by the arm and ordered him to take them to his mother. Merlin nodded and calmly led them to the nearby nunnery where his mother resided. When the knights had both Merlin and his mother in their custody, they took them back to Mount Erith. The knights told King Vortigern all they had heard. Then the king asked Merlin's mother if the boy truly had no father. "By my living soul, Lord King," she said, "I know only this. When I was in my private apartment, someone or something used to come to me in the form of a most handsome young man. He would often hold me tightly in his arms and kiss me. When he had been some time with me, he would disappear, so that I could no longer see him. And in that way, he made me with child. So it is up to you to decide in your wisdom who was the father of my son." Vortigern was very puzzled by this. It was then that Merlin spoke. "King, you ask a question of my mother for which she knows no answer. But I do. It is true I have no earthly father, yet I have an unearthly father, an incubus, an evil spirit with the power to mate with mortal women. The powers of darkness intended me to be their instrument, the doer of evil, but when I was born, my pious mother had me baptized at once before darkness could seize me. So I was saved from a wicked fate. I retained the powers of my evil father, but the Lord took pity on me and blessed me with sight of the future. So here I am, born for evil, but preserved by goodness. Your magicians told you to search for me in order to slay me. They were given that message from my evil father for the forces that now seek my death. Yet I came here today because I knew no harm would befall me. King Vortigern was amazed by all of this and by how eloquently the lad spoke. Merlin continued, "Now I will prove your magicians to be liars. They told you my blood would cause the foundations of your tower to hold, but they didn't know the true cause of your troubles. No structure can be built on Mount Erith, and I'll show you why. Summon your workmen. Order them to dig in the earth below your foundation, and underneath you're going to find a pool of water. That's what's preventing the tower from standing." The king commanded that this be done, and the magicians scoffed that Merlin's words were preposterous. Workers toiled at removing the soil with large buckets and horses. At last, a subterranean pool was discovered. All those present were equally amazed at Merlin's knowledge, and they realized that there was something supernatural about him. The boy turned to the magicians. "Do any of you lying flatterers know what lies at the bottom of the pool?" They stared at him blankly. "No? Then I will tell you. King, order the pool to be drained, and at the bottom you will discover two hollow stones. Inside the stones are two great dragons which are sleeping. Each night they roll over in their sleep and shake the earth so that it swallows your foundations. Drain the pool by digging ditches and channels to remove the water. Then you will see if I speak the truth. If I am lying, you can drag me to death behind your horses. But if I am right, put these faithless magicians to the same fate." The king agreed, and the terrified magicians watched as the pool was drained to reveal two enormous boulders. When the boulders began to smoke and hiss, Merlin cried, "Behold, the dragons sense each other. They're enemies. One is red, one is white. They'll soon break free." Everyone looked to the boy in terror. "You have nothing to fear. Draw away from this place, and the dragons will battle fiercely, but the white will slay the red." As they did as Merlin said. Soon after, they saw flames spouting from the two boulders, and the dragons broke free and fought fiercely. The two beasts battled for 3 days, but at last the red dragon was consumed by the flames of the white. When the red dragon was dead, the white dragon lay upon the ground, breathing slowly. "Now that its enemy is defeated, the white dragon will slowly die," said Merlin. "King Vortigern, you may now build your tower wherever you wish. But know this, the dragons are symbolic. The red dragon symbolizes you, who have taken this land forcefully and deceitfully. And the white dragon represents your enemies, who will return to reclaim their rightful lands. Now let my mother and I depart peacefully. You must prepare for war." King Vortigern grew angry at these words, but He did nothing to stop Merlin and his mother from departing. He saw that the boy had great powers, and he feared him above all others. Instead, he directed his wrath toward his magicians, whom he put to death. Because of this event, all of Britain began to whisper of Merlin, the boy with magical powers.